Well, when I was younger, I didn't really think of Jehovah that much as a person.
Well, I definitely think that having a friendship with God is a hard concept to understand.
I like the scripture that says, taste and see that Jehovah is good, because if you want to get to know Jehovah as a friend and develop a relationship with him, you do have to put forth effort and you have to take the first step, you could say.
You have to see Jehovah as a person and that he's real, and that when you pray, you know that he's hearing you.
When I'm all alone, I take advantage of the opportunity to talk to him. I talk to him all the time.
There is no greater feeling than having Jehovah as your friend, and it's worth the effort.
Friends in your life come and go, but the only person who will never truly leave you is Jehovah.
He can be your friend forever if you want him to be.
Our family went through some hard times. Having a single mom, we didn't know where our next meal was coming from. We would be able to pay the rent. And that's, I think, the biggest thing I've learned in my life is to throw that anxiety upon Jehovah. And he'll take care of you. And every single time, without fail, he's come through for us.
My parents weren't in the truth. The only thing I had was Jehovah. So I had developed a real relationship with him.
When I think of a friend, I think of somebody you desire to tell your feelings to. But you can always tell Jehovah anything.
Through the good times and the bad, one way or another, I've seen that he's always helped me to continue.
Whenever I have a problem, whenever I'm down, I always know that I can go to him anytime that I want to for anything.
I think you kind of go from where it's just saying his name into the microphone as a one-word answer to a point where he's real to you. And he's there, and he's in your everyday life, and you want him there more than anything because he's your friend, and you know that he's the best friend that you could ever have.
When you make Jehovah your best friend, you'll be drawn to others who do likewise. In the Christian congregation, you can enjoy friendships with people of different ages and backgrounds. Friendships that can influence you in a positive way.
What helped me more than anything else was the help from the other young people in the congregation. They always tried to include me, not only in recreation, but also in spiritual activities.
I think that having friends that are older than ourselves is a good thing, because we can talk to them about our problems. Then, as friends, they'll help us.
I like to play ball. At first, I didn't want to hang out with them because I look at them, they're all quiet, or they're too old. They can't play. So when they were like, all right, let's go after the meeting and play basketball, I was surprised these guys could play.
They beat you.
They beat you.
My main adult friends are my parents. I think they're the ones who can give you the best advice, since they love you more than anyone else.
Well, I talk to my mom and dad, and they listen. And I know that sounds very storybookish, like it's out of some story fairy tale, but it's what happened to me.
Whether they're young or old, the best kind of friends are people who are friends of God.
Your book, Sister Smith, and your brochures. Perfect timing.
Among true Christians, you can find friends who will not hurt you, but who will help you. You can have friends who won't tear you down, but who will build you up. You can have friends you can trust, who are loyal. If you are a friend of God, you will never be without real friends. Not everyone is satisfied with wholesome Christian association. Some are envious of young people who seem to be more exciting. who seem to be having a good time.
When you're young, you need to feel accepted and to belong to a group.
You jump through all kinds of hoops, you do all of these kind of things with your attire, with the way you wear your hair, with the way you talk, with the way you stand, to try to fit in.
Everybody bought the same pair of sneakers, and it was like, if you didn't have these sneakers, it's like you weren't cool.
That desire to fit in can be harmful if it draws you to the wrong crowd. The Bible warns, bad associations spoil useful habits.
It's the person who shows by his attitude and his way of doing things that he doesn't follow Jehovah's principles.
The Bible's warning against bad association can even apply within the congregation.
Because like some young people in the congregation, like they'll act one way in the meetings, but as soon as they go out, you know, they start acting a different way.
And then you're like, who is this? This isn't the same person that was in the meeting yesterday.
Because you can see that there are many young people that are like real rebellious, and you can see right away that they're not good associations.
I think you can tell a lot about a person by what he talks about. Does he just talk about having fun? Or does he talk about spiritual things?
You may recognize that certain youth are bad association. Still, it may be hard not to envy them.
When you're around these worldly kids and they're all dating and doing the sports thing and you want to be in with what they're doing.
There's times when you want to do stuff and then your parents are like, well, they're not good association and stuff, so you wonder, well, if I can't hang out with them, who am I going to hang out with?
It's worth the effort. Living by godly standards will limit your choice of friends. It will also make you stand out as different.
There's a lot of pressure on you as a witness. They think you're weird, that you belong to a sect or something strange.
The kids hate me. They would spit on me. They hit me on the back in class, so I couldn't listen. Every time I went to school, my heart would be pounding.
Faced with such pressures, it may be tempting to hide your Christian beliefs.
When I ran into classmates while out in service, they would see that I was dressed up, and they'd ask me what I was doing, but I was afraid to tell them that I was preaching.
The desire to be liked, to fit in, to be like everybody else is powerful. So powerful that some even secretly crave association with the wrong crowd. Two young Christians recall how bad associations nearly led to their spiritual ruin.
I got involved in bad association basically at school.
I sought out people who were those things, like exciting and cool and fun, and witnesses that were leading double lives.
Some of them sold drugs, anything from marijuana to crack cocaine.
It pretty much started off with drinking.
You know, selling drugs was the end thing to do. The guys were going around with beepers. They had money. For some reason, I felt that I could sell but not use.
We'd go to some parking lot somewhere and pull out the booze.
Basically, it was all done at school. My mother was out service, my dad was working, so they didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, definitely. It affects you spiritually. You constantly are feeling guilty, of course.
I really didn't have any love for Jehovah in my heart. If it was there, I couldn't feel it. I knew what the Bible said. As far as any of the other children in the congregation, I could give you the same answers they did. So it wasn't the head knowledge but it just wasn't in my heart.
there's only